Hi everyone, it's Darlene. Welcome to my card video. Today I did this cute little monkey that I've been wanting to do for actually a really long time. I've had this stamp for a while. I started with my wood grain background stamp and I applied some chocolate chip ink to it, and I'm using some chocolate chip paper. And because I'm using the stamp lengthwise, I'm going to have to do it twice, but I just mark it with a pencil so I see where I'm stamping, and it doesn't have to be exact because I'm actually going to cut out the middle. Okay, now I'm going to take my Stampin' Up! Sizzix die, the top note, and I'm going to cut out the middle. And then I'm going to take a sponge dauber and some chocolate chip ink, and I'm just going to ink the edges to give some perspective. Now I've cut this piece of paper the same as a card size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm going to mark the edges so I kind of know what area I'm working in. I'm going to pull out my Build a Blossom stamps. I'm actually going to use the Inspired by Nature first to just create some grass. And I'm going to ink it up with some chocolate chip, and then I'm going to put some scrap paper on top to get some of the ink off because I want it to be a little bit faded. And then I'm going to stamp it on my white piece. And I'm going to do it twice. And I actually did this on Neenah cardstock first, and then I did it on Stampin' Up! Cardstock, and I have the differences in how the Stampin' Up! Inks look on those two different cardstocks on my blog if you want to check it out. Okay, so now I'm going to start with my Build a Blossom stamp set, and I'm going to use Wild Wasabi. And you'll see I have the problem that everybody emails me about, which is it doesn't stick. So what I ended up doing was I went offline and I cleaned off the stamp and the block in just some water. That's all I used with water. And as you can see, it works perfectly now. Alright, now I'm going to use the next stamp, this is a two-step stamp, so I'm using Garden Green and I'm just stamping on top of it. And I'm not measuring it or lining it up or anything like that, and if it looks a little messy then that's okay because that's the intention of it. So I'm going to go all the way around, and then I have two more stamps, which is just a smaller leaf size, and I did the same exact thing. Now I'm going to stamp my monkey onto some Neenah cardstock because I'm going to be using some Copic markers. And I'm just using 4 different colors. The monkey, I'm going to start off with my lightest shade all the way around. And I'm just going to work in parts on this monkey because it's a little large. So I'm going to do just the left half first. And then I'm going to go back in with my darkest color. And then this is my medium shade. So my light source is coming from the right, which is how I usually do things. I guess I just have a habit of doing it that way. Now I'm going back in with my lightest color and I'm going to blend it all together. Okay, now working on the other side. Same technique, darkest next. And put a little shadow there for his arm, and then the medium color, and then I'm going to go back in with my lightest. And then I decided I wanted to create a little bit of a shadow from his head to give a little bit more perception. So I just darkened it in that area, and I'm going to do that same technique when I do his the big belly spot. So same process with his head and his ears. So for his belly I used a lighter color, and then the lightest color that I used on his skin, on his fur. So I just added one additional color. I'm going to do that same thing for the front of his face. Alright, now I'm taking a colorless blender, which is going to remove some color just because I wanted to add a little bit more light. So I removed a little color, and then I decided maybe I removed a little bit too much, so I went back in with my lightest shade. And that's it. So then I'm going to cut it out. Now I'm erasing the pencil marks I made at the beginning of the video. I'm marking the center. Now this hemp twine is a little unruly and I really wanted to glue it, but I just didn't want to stand there for a long time and hold it in place, so I decided to take some glue dots and stretch them, like roll them up into like a line and then stretch it out a little bit. And that actually worked pretty well because then I could take my time and figure out where I wanted my rope to be. And at first I put it in the center, but I realized the monkey's hand was going to have to go underneath there, so that's why I moved my glue dot over to the right. So I used about 4 altogether. And they stretched out pretty well, I was surprised. And then for the ends, I just used just some regular adhesive. Okay, now I'm going to apply my frame using some foam adhesive, just some dimensionals, and place it on top. And then I noticed that my white was just a little tiny bit wider than my brown, so I went ahead and trimmed it a little bit. And then I'm also using some dimensionals to adhere my monkey, and I'm going to put his hand underneath the rope. And I tried to put that sentiment on the outside, but I really couldn't find a good place for it. And then I decided I kind of liked it better on the inside, so I went ahead and put a sentiment on the inside this time. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.